I was a client, and my ex-wife worked there for 14 years.
Oh.
So she unfortunately has gotten sick and can't work anymore. So.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. But
So you've been here 20, so this has really been your only job since college. Wow.
scary.
That's rare. I mean, nowadays,
Well,
people,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Me and Danita both.
yeah, okay.
I mean, it's kind of scary, you know, the younger people, the people who are generation after us, are comfortable with just, okay, I'm getting a new job,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I'm
3 to 4 years.
I'm more like my parents' generation, you know, I was like, okay, I'm here, I'm comfortable here, you know, so.
They'll figure it out when they have no retirement and they're on Social Security like I am. Was Danuta a counselor at one time? I had her for a counselor. I knew that name sounded familiar.
Yeah, she's our director now.
Yeah, she had a little office somewhere off the beaten path in here at one time. But I think everybody has a little office in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any.
Well, we had group, I think you had just gotten that building next door. We had group over there.
Yeah, we're not currently using that building, but we hope to. We're trying to get some more group activity things going on and interest built and so on and so forth. So
I always found the group very easier to open up into for some reason. I don't know why. Some people were opposite. I don't want to share this around other people.
Yeah.
I felt more compelled to speak when there was more people.
Yeah, well, the group therapy can be a very powerful tool. I mean,
You're not the only one.
it's about shared experience and learning from others who have been through the same types of things that you've done and so on and so forth. But I want to, this is Union County Counseling. We have been here since early
8 a.m., 8:30 it says.
No, the 8. Well, we actually I got here about 8.
Yeah.
But no, the agency, we're a community mental health center. We provide mental health services to the community. We provide a whole array of services and supports to people who live in the community or nearby, based on their needs and, you know, the problems, their needs and what they.
On the list.
You got it right there.
Yep.
Yeah, no, this is this is a handbook put out by the state of Illinois. It just talks about the mental health system and the services and supports that are available through different resources. I found this very helpful for people who take it seriously.
Yeah.
But we provide service. I'm sorry, I want to give a little spiel about what we do here.
Absolutely. Very nice.
Across all, you know, we see from kids to seniors. You know, we provide services for people. You know, some that just need to come in because they're dealing with the life stressor and they're like, I don't know how to deal with it. Other people are people living in the community who have schizophrenia or bipolar or serious mental illness. So we have a whole array of programming and services and supports. We have therapists who are here at the office. We have therapists, counselors and therapists who go into the schools. We have contracts with some of the local schools to work with the kids. We have some case managers. We have some group activities that we do. It used to be the psychosocial rehabilitation program. Now it's community support program. It's for people who live in like shelter cares or, you know, more institutional settings. We offer classes and supports to help them build the skills they need to be as independent as they possibly can. So, yeah, so we do a little bit of everything. Each of the programs are talked about in the brochure. Funding, a big part of our stuff comes from Medicaid, because that's the population that community mental health centers were originally created to support. We're a safety net provider for the people who have nowhere else to go. We're the fallback people or entity to serve and support those individuals. So, yeah. Anyway, but so Medicaid, we have Medicare, we have private insurance. We can bill any of those funding streams for our services. But yeah, our primary focus is
funding a sliding scale too, right?
Yes, we
I know
do.
you did when I was here. So.
Yeah, we have a sliding fee scale for individuals who live in Union County, and that is an amount that's determined based on their available resources. But that was another thing that was started with the community mental health center. So we're the safety net provider for Union County, whereas Family Counseling is the safety net provider for Johnson and whatever counties they serve, and so on and so forth. So yeah. What other questions? Any other questions?
Yeah, can you tell us about the psychiatric services? Because maybe they don't even know what psychiatrists are, and just like the pivotal role that they have in like pulling clients in, and then how they go to other programs as well.
That is good question. We have a day and a half of psychiatric time. Both of those are now by telepsychiatry, which is a change, because there's psychiatrists are doctors who prescribe medications and treat mental health conditions.
Now, when you say telepsychologist, you don't just mean over the phone, you mean on
Telepsychiatry,
TV screen?
yeah, it's like on Skype. It's
Okay.
There has to be a face-to-face, but it's over the computer. It's a pretty much a lot of places around here have had to incorporate that, because there's
The travel time in itself,
yeah, and there's just not many psychiatrists in Southern Illinois anymore. You were here when Dr. Mings was here, right? Or were you?
Someone, he was very talkative. He moved to Texas. Is that him?
Dr.
Yeah.
Mings. He was
good.
a great.
Yeah.
He loved to talk, and it went overboard sometimes.
I'm sorry, what did he look like? Was he an older gentleman?
He
Probably in his 50s
was
when I knew him. He was tall, kind of darker skin.
dark hair.
I believe I talked to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's,
I was just curious.
And so why do you need a psychiatrist?
we need a psychiatrist because, well, as I said, we're the community mental health provider. We often serve people who are discharged from psychiatric facilities on psychotropic medications. A lot of primary care doctors are not comfortable prescribing psychotropic medications, like things for schizophrenia, bipolar, or serious mental illnesses. So psychiatrists are a rare and very important facet of the medical system, but they specialize in prescribing those medications and in figuring out what dosages are right and helping people control their psychiatric symptoms.
So a lot of that seems like when I was taking medications, even after the open heart surgery, it's just experimental. If too much would do this and not enough didn't help, and it took me years to get the medication right for my blood pressure. So it works the same way with that, because I've been
Yeah,
going through
it's
that.
just, that's interesting. You're talking about medical conditions. That's really, it talks about this in this concept in this book. One thing that, there's a lot of stigma associated with psychiatric conditions, with people who have schizophrenia, so on and so forth. There's a lot of negative connotations. So that prevents a lot of people from seeking the services and supports that would be beneficial to them. We really work to try and educate people, and psychiatric conditions are just like any other medical condition. It is based on, like, they're often caused by the last time, it might not be the latest medical technology, information, but like you might have schizophrenia, but it's caused by an imbalance of chemicals in your brain, and oftentimes medications can help to correct that imbalance and make it possible for you to live a better quality life.
That's why a lot of people with mental issues turn to being a drug addict, like me, because sometimes you hit the right drug and it kind of fits that spot.
Absolutely.
It's not the right one you need, but
It's not.
it fills it in temporarily, so you
It,
go berserk with it.
it masks.
Mm-hmm.
It can often mask, the problems that can be very uncomfortable. But one thing we try, it's just like taking medications for diabetes. Say you have insulin-dependent diabetes. You can't just stop taking that medication, because that medication is what allows you to continue living your life.
Is the fact that show is so close, does that like add additional clients who have serious mental illness? Or do they kind of go back to wherever it is that they
It
live?
depends on their preference. Shoat is we do have a lot of people here who came from Shoat.
Okay.
But if people, Shoat is the state hospital for the whole southern part of the state. So like if somebody comes to Shoat from I can't think of what county's over east, they try and link, if they want to go back there, if that's what their family is, they try and link people back to their county of origin.
Okay.
But we do often get people who come from Shoat. I forgot to mention we have a 24-hour supervised residential program, which is specifically designed for what you're talking about, Jesse. It's a supervised residential program, so there's staff on site 24/7. They help with chores, they help monitor meds, they just help people learn the things that they need to learn to be able to move out on their own.
A solo basically.
Yes and no.
Is it behind here? Is it the?
No. And we call it the cottage,
Okay.
and it's a transitional living facility, so it's not a still home. It's a facility where people who, for whatever reason, and this came out because we get a lot of referrals from Shoat, or from other psychiatric hospitals, for people who aren't ready to go back, who have the potential to eventually get back out on their own, but they're not ready. It's like a step down.
Okay.
They need to work on learning about their meds and the importance of the meds and taking their meds like they're supposed to. They need help budgeting their money. They need to brush up on their cooking and cleaning, household skills. And
They've been out of circulation for so long that they either didn't know or have forgotten those skills.
yeah, or they never learned them. And
Yeah.
we've had great success in helping people transition through that program to independent living. So it's a wonderful.
When they go to a cellar, they're just basically there forever, it seems like.
Yeah, it's
that work?
a different kind of support.
But they show has dismissed a lot of people. So I worked at, practically everybody there came from Shote at one time or another. And now they live in a solo home. And the solo homes are popping up all over the place.
Yeah, there's that system is a little different, and that might the solo homes might be the most independence that
They'll ever,
that it's capable of, you know. But our program is not intended to house people forever. You know, we want to help them.
Move out.
Our residents, yeah, we want to help them work. You know, the average stay is 18 to 24 months. You know, sometimes more, sometimes less, but it's based on a case by case.
I did not know that they had such a thing. It seemed like everybody I knew ended up going to a cell and they just lived there. They might transfer to a different cell home, but they just stayed in the system forever.
Yeah, well, that's like I said, that's a different. I mean, that's much preferred for people who live in the cell homes to live in an institution.
Yes.
I mean, there was a big lawsuit, Williams, I don't know if it was a Williams consent decree, that challenged that, or I know it was in, when, it was our last governor,
Rauner.
Right.
no, the one before him, sorry.
The guy from
Quinn.
Chicago.
Look away, that's
Quinn.
the one that's in jail.
No,
Yeah.
no, Quinn. It was
Quinn, oh Quinn,
Quinn.
yeah, I forgot.
He implemented the thing where he said people should not live in institutions. You know, we need to get them out into community settings, and that's why there's the big
Push to get them all out there.
yeah.
As it was also pointed out to me, they pay people at solo homes minimum wage, whereas people at Shote make a lot of money. So they
Yeah.
get people like me to do it for $8.25 an hour, and I'm doing the same job that the guy at Shote did for $20 an hour, $30 an hour. You know.
Yeah.
So,
What do you look? What was I? I had a question in my head. What kind of employees do you look for when you interview people? What kind of qualities are you looking for?
Oh, that's a tough question.
I don't know if you're involved in hiring.
Yes.
You are involved in hiring.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly, well, this day and age, there's a really big push toward, it depends on what position we're hiring for,
Okay.
what we're looking for. Like, if we're looking for a therapist, we really want people who have knowledge and understanding of evidence-based practices, because, we're going more toward managed care type scenario, and so the more that we can say, yes, we have training and experience in these evidence-supported modalities, that's going to be a positive thing. You have to be personable. You need to be flexible, because you might come in thinking your day's going to look like this, and bam, it's completely different. I've found in my experience that you have to be able to roll with resistance. If not everybody's at the point where they fully understand what's going on. I forgot to talk about crisis intervention, but some people are more aware of their problems than others, we'll say. Sometimes you have to be able to find ways to help people figure out the best way to help themselves. You have to be caring and compassionate and gentle, but not
too gentle.
Not too. You have to be able to find that balance. Does that make sense? Does that answer that question?
Yeah, because it seems like,
I mean,
I remember from my experience, every time that my counselor saw me, they were seeing a different person every time. Because it might depend on if I had been able to stay clean that week, or if I had used that week, or if I'd even been home that week, or,
Yeah.
so.
yeah.
That'd be tough.
I made an interesting client.
Oh, and also you have to be able to not take things too personally.
So it says you have an open access intake process available today?
Wednesdays,
Today's Friday, Wednesdays,
So not today.
not today.
yes.
I'll have to wait till-
So my question, I guess, was related to that. So people could show up on Wednesdays, but how else would they find out or become clients?
We have, how else would they, we get referrals from rural health, doctor's offices, we get referrals from the schools, we get referrals from hospitals. We have 24-hour crisis services. We get calls from the hospital, we get calls from law enforcement, so on and so forth, for people who are in need of a psychiatric crisis intervention. Anybody can call that services here.
Okay.
When we get referrals from like rural health, our front desk that calls the person and tries to set up an intake to say, okay, we got this referral. Are you interested in services?